because I believe what the Catholic Church teaches with respect to homosexuality. I'm a bigot. So now I'm a bigot.
And earlier in the campaign, you talked about John F. Kennedy's famous speech to the Baptist ministers in Houston back in 1960. Here's what you had to say.
Very late in my political career, I had the opportunity to read the speech, and I almost threw up.
Because the first substantive line in the speech says, I believe in America where the separation of church and state is absolute. I don't believe in an America where the separation of church and state is absolute.
There is no such thing as global warming.
But the biggest problem with poverty in America, we don't talk about here because it's an economic discussion, and that is the breakdown of the American family.
If what I'm talking about are privileges, here privileges of marriage, privileges of government benefits is a different thing than basic rights to be able to live their lives and, as they well should and can as free Americans.
We are fighting a war against radical Islam.
Are many on the left and in the scientific community, so to speak, who are afraid of that discussion because, oh my goodness, you might mention the word, God forbid, God in the classroom, or creator.
In the sense that I know that you believe even in cases of rape and incest, but you've got two daughters. If you had a daughter that came to you who'd been raped and was pregnant and was begging you to let her have an abortion, would you really be able to look her in the eye and say no?
And this is not an easy choice. I understand that. As horrible as the way that daughter and son was created, it still is her child. And whether she has that child or she doesn't, it will always be her child, and she will always know that. And so to embrace her and to love her and to support her and get her through this very difficult time, I've always, I believe, and I think the right approach is to accept this horribly created, in the sense of rape, but nevertheless gift, and in a very broken way, but gift of human life, and accept what God is giving to you. As you know, we have to, in lots of different aspects of our life, we have horrible things happen. I can't think of anything more horrible, but nevertheless.
Understand that the American Psychological Association is made up of people who agree with the American Psychological Association. On occasion, scientists working on the nuclear program in Iran turn up dead. I think that's a wonderful thing.
And the reality is that the version of Islam that is practiced in the Middle East, that is growing and spreading, is one that is not going to be one that we can deal with very easily. It's one that requires, as a Catholic, it's a tough term to say, reformation.
The opportunity to see what's in here, what's up here, and what's burning down here.
And we say, if you don't meet that deadline and open up this facility and begin to dismantle it, we're going to take it out for you.
Oil. Drill everywhere.
There is income inequality in America. There always has been. And hopefully, and I do say that, there always will be.
I support a constitutional amendment to ban same-sex marriage. I think that marriage should be a consistent thing across the country. Marriage is the union of one man and one woman. It's essential for the family. It's essential for the stability of our culture to make sure that children are given the best hope, which is a mom and a dad. And
a month ago, they didn't know who we are.
Are we saying that everyone should have the right to marry? Everyone. Okay. So anyone can marry anybody else. Okay? So anybody can marry anybody else. So anybody can marry several people. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop. No, this is not participatory. We're not going to do this.
That's what the bottom line is. I don't want to make people's lives better by giving them somebody else's money.
I looked at that, and I didn't say that. If you look at it, what I started to say is a word and then sort of changed, and it sort of came out, and people said I said black. I didn't. No one in that audience, and I've talked to a lot of people.
No, we looked at it, and it is a little blurry.
I looked at it very closely.
It's like, handing up this and saying this glass of water is a glass of beer. Well, you can call it a glass of beer, but it's not a glass of beer. It's a glass of water. And water is what water is. Marriage is what marriage is.
Yes.
Okay. I never refer to Obama as President Obama because legally he is not. Okay. And, well, he constantly says that our Constitution is passé, and he totally ignores it, as you know. He does what he darn well pleases. He is an avowed Muslim. And my question is, why isn't something being done to get him out of our government? He has no legal right to be calling himself president.
Well, yeah, I'm doing my best to try to get him out of the government.
A friend is someone who knows the song in your heart and can sing it back to you when you've forgotten the words. Africa was a country on the brink of complete meltdown and chaos.
I think the Democrats actually worried he may go to Indonesia and bow to more Muslims.
I find it almost remarkable for a black man to say, no, we are going to decide who are people and who are not people.
And of course, we look at the shape of mainline Protestantism in this country, and it is a shambles. It is gone from the world of Christianity.
It's simply, putting in law what has been in place in society for thousands of years, that this is what marriage is. There's an intrinsic value that having men and women come together in marriage and having children and raising those children in a stable family. In fact, I was with a gay friend of mine just 2 days ago.
I would advocate that any doctor that performs an abortion should be criminally charged for doing so.
You know, we came into the backyard of one of my opponents.
In fact, most scientists, unfortunately, those who certainly are advocating for this and many others, feel very little moral compulsion.
And the father of lies has his sights on what you would think the father of lies, Satan, would have his sights on. A good, decent, powerful, influential country, the United States of America.
And what reason dictates is that children need mothers and fathers.
But our civil laws have to comport with the higher law.
To be precise, is it ethnic profiling, religious profiling? Who would be profiled?
Well, the folks who are most likely to be committing these crimes. If you look at it, I mean, obviously it was people. Obviously, Muslims would be someone you'd look at. Absolutely, those are the folks who are the radical Muslims, are the people that are committing these crimes, as we've by and large, as well as younger males. I mean, these are things that not exclusively, but these are things that you profile to find your best, the most likely candidate.
One of the things I will talk about that no president has talked about before is I think the dangers of contraception in this country. It's not okay because it's a license to do things in the sexual realm that is counter to how things are supposed to be. They're supposed to be within marriage. They're supposed to be for purposes that are, yes, conjugal, but also immunitive, but also procreative.
In 2003, when the Supreme Court was going to create a constitutional right to sodomy, and said, this is wrong. We can't do this. We can't have a constitutional right to consensual sexual activity.
He once said he wants everybody in America to go to college. What a snob.
I have friends who are gay.
And so the gay community said, he's comparing gay sex to incest and polygamy. How dare he do this? And they have gone out on and I would argue, the jihad against Rick Santorum.